Nice that you looking at. Look What You Made Me Do. Part 2. Upon release. Look What You Made Me Do. Polarized music critics. Some considered the single a fierce return and an interesting move for Swift to reclaim her public narrative, whereas others found the production and themes vindictive, harsh, and off-putting. USA Today said that the polarized reaction to the song illustrated Swift's position as a ubiquitous cultural force. The Telegraph's Sarah Carson praised the song, deeming Swift and Antonoff's work as blowing past the production cliches of claptracks and hiccuped syllabic hooks that have proliferated across top 40 fare in recent years, with boldly inventive textures and fresh melodic, rhythmic and sonic accents. She also added how the track musically and sonically shifted alongside the lyrics. Randy Lewis of the Los Angeles Times wrote a positive review of the song, saying, "The reverberating crescendo builds, and ever more delicious is the wickedness of Swift's menacing protagonist." Praising Swift for her successful embrace of the villain character the media has portrayed her as previous to the song's release. Variety's Chris Willman also praised Swift's embrace of darker-styled pop music and the stylistic conflict between the song's pre-chorus and chorus. Mark Harris, writing for Vulture, thought of Swift's song as a pop art anthem for the Trump era in how she reappropriates her public feuds as empowering badges of honor without acknowledging her responsibility or blame. Maura Johnston of The Guardian wrote a negative review of the song, faulting the sloppy lyrics and blaming Swift for not giving a clear context in the lyrics. Lindsay Zoladz of The Ringer said, "Unleashed on a deeply confused public late Thursday night, the song is a strange collage of retro reference points, mid-aughts Gossip Girl placement pop, the soundtrack to Disney's live-action Maleficent, and, yes, really, right said Freds, I'm too sexy, except devoid of the self-effacing humor and wit. Yes. The new Taylor Swift song just made me compliment, right, said Fred. The single was noted as being darker and angrier than what Swift had done before. Megan Garvey from Pitchfork referred to it in a review as a hardcore self-owned track. Retrospective reviews have considered Look What You Made Me Do a career-defining song for Swift. In 2019, Slant magazine listed Look What You Made Me Do as one of the 100 singles that defined the 2010s decade. Sal Cinquemani described it as Swift's first bona fide misstep, but also a bold and authentic artistic work. In 2023, Zoya Raza Sheikh of The Independent opined that the single portrayed Swift as a beleaguered pop star. Look What You Made Me Do broke several streaming records upon release. In the United States, Look What You Made Me Do debuted at number 77 on the Billboard Hot 100, with that week's chart capturing its first 3 days of airplay. It also sold slightly under 200,000 digital copies within its first day of sales in the country, where it became the fastest-selling download since Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. 1 week later, the song ascended from number 77 to number 1 on the Hot 100 after its first full week of tracking, becoming the fifth largest rise to the top position and Swift's fifth number 1 single in the United States, ending the record-tying 16-week reign of Luis Fonsi's Despacito. Look What You Made Me Do became one of the most dominant number 1 hits of all time, leading ahead of Despacito, with more than double the Hot 100 points. The song also topped the nation's streaming songs chart with 84.4 million streams, becoming its most streamed song within a week by a female artist at the time and second overall behind the 103 million that Bauer's Harlem Shake gained in 2013. The track also had more weekly streams in the US than any other song in 2017. The song stayed atop the charts for 3 consecutive weeks. tying with American rapper Cardi B's Bodak Yellow as the longest-running female at the #1 spot on the charts in 2017, with 353,000 copies sold in its first week. Look What You Made Me Do opened atop the US Digital Songs chart and had the country's biggest sales opening since Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling in 2016, as well as the best weekly sales for a song by a female artist since Adele's Hello in 2015. The track also became the country's first #1 song by a female artist since Sia's Cheap Thrills, both in 2016. It additionally was the first solo song by a female to top the US charts since Hello. It remained atop the Hot 100 and streaming songs charts for a second week with 114,000 copies sold and 61.2 million streams. That week, it was bumped to #2 on the Digital Songs chart by Swift's track, Ready for It, which debuted at #1 with 135,000 digital copies sold. As a result, Swift became the first artist to have two tracks sell over 100,000 digital copies in the nation within a week, since Sheeran did so with Shape of You and Castle on the Hill. It also became the first time a female had two songs within the top 5 of the Hot 100 since 2015, when Swift's songs, Blank Space and Shake It Off, respectively, were at numbers 4 and 5 on the chart. The single also topped the mainstream Top 40 chart, becoming Swift's 8th single to do so. In the United Kingdom, Look What You Made Me Do sold 20,000 copies and was streamed 2.4 million times in less than a week. The song debuted at the top of the UK singles chart on September 1, 2017 for the week ending date September 7, 2017. With opening sales of 30,000 copies and 5.3 million streams within the week, and becoming Swift's first chart-topping song in Britain. It spent 2 weeks at the top spot. As of December 2022, Look What You Made Me Do has sold over 1 million combined units in the UK. Look What You Made Me Do also debuted at #1 on the Irish singles chart on September 1, 2017. And became Swift's first song to top the chart in Ireland. Look What You Made Me Do opened at #1 in Australia on September 2, 2017, becoming her 5th track to top the ARIA charts. It spent another week at the summit. The song has been certified 7 times platinum by the Australian Recording Industry Association, after debuting at #1 on the Canadian Hot 100. Look What You Made Me Do was also certified platinum by Music Canada for shipments of 80,000 units on September 14, 2017. In New Zealand, Look What You Made Me Do entered the #1 spot on September 4, 2017, becoming Swift's 4th chart-topping single there. In the Philippines, Look What You Made Me Do debuted at #7 on the Philippine Hot 100 in its first week. A week later, it ascended to the #1 spot, ending the 10-week reign of Despacito. Preparation for the music video began in January 2017, while the shooting took place in May. The dance was choreographed by Tice Diorio, who had previously worked with Swift on the video for her 2014 single, Shake It Off. Swift's makeup as a zombie was done by Bill Corso. Post-production of the video lasted until the morning of its release date. A 20-second music video teaser was released on Good Morning America on August 25. The song's music video premiered on August 27, 2017, at the 2017 MTV Video Music Awards. The video broke the record for the most watched video within 24 hours by achieving 43.2 million views on YouTube on its first day. It topped the 27.7 million Vivo views Adele's Hello attracted in that timeframe, as well as the 36 million YouTube views of Psy's Gentleman video. It was viewed at an average 30,000 times per minute in its first 24 hours, with views reaching over 3 million views per hour. The video was named the 5th best music video of 2017 by Rolling Stone and the 7th best music video of 2017 by Billboard. In 2020, Parade ranked the video 20th on the list of 71 best music videos of all time. Swift has said that part of the premise of the video is rooted in the idea that, "If everything you write about me was true, this is how ridiculous it would look." It is a satirical send-up of media theories about her true intentions that have little validity. The video begins with an overhead shot of a cemetery before the camera zooms in on a grave with a headstone that reads, "Here lies Taylor Swift's reputation." After that, a zombie Swift, wearing the dress from her Out of the Woods music video, crawls out of the grave before proceeding to dig another grave for her Met Gala 2014 self. The next scene shows Swift in a bathtub filled with diamonds, with a necklace spelling out, "No," next to a ring, supposedly sending up tabloid press rumors of her past romantic relationships. She is then seen seated on a throne while snakes surround her and serve tea. Swift later crashes her golden Bugatti Veyron on a post and sings the song's chorus holding a Grammy as the paparazzi take photos. She is also seen swinging inside a golden cage, robbing a streaming company in a cat mask, and leading a motorcycle gang. Afterward, she gathers a group of women at Squad U and dances with a group of men in another room. Then, she is seen standing on top of the wing of a plane in an airport hangar, sawing off the wing in half and spray painting "Reputation" in pink on the side of the plane. At the video's climax, Swift is seen standing on a T-shaped throne mountain while clones of herself, from her past music videos, stage performances, and red carpet appearances, struggle and fight against each other trying to reach her. The Swift at the top of the mountain stretches out her arms, and all the other Swifts fall off the mountain. While Swift from another scene picks up a phone and says, "I'm sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now." Why? Oh, 'cause she's dead. The video concludes with a scene of a lineup of surviving Swift clones bowing in the hangar while Swift stands and watches on the wing of the plane. The clones bicker with one another, describing each other as "so fake" and "playing the victim." The 2009 VMA Swift clone then says, "I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative," resulting in the other Swifts yelling at her to "shut up" in unison. Several scenes from the music video were compared to the works of Croatian singer Severina, particularly the scene with the group of women at Squad U, and the scene with the T-shaped throne. The former was compared to her 2016 music video for Silicone, and the latter was compared to the performances from her 2013 Dobrodošao U Club tour. The video contains numerous hidden meanings and references. In the opening scene, there is a subtle, Nils Sjöberg tombstone shown when Swift is digging up a grave, referencing the pseudonym she used for a songwriting credit on Calvin Harris's 2016 single, "This Is What You Came For." Similarly, Swift, masked as a cadaveric version of herself in the Out of the Woods music video, was shown digging a grave for herself in the gown worn to the 2014 Met Gala. The zombie Swift rising from her supposed grave is also speculated to be a subtle reference to Michael Jackson's Thriller music video, which showcases a zombie rising from their grave very similarly to the position Swift was in. A single dollar bill in the bathtub full of diamonds that she bathes in was also speculated to symbolize the dollar she was awarded for winning a sexual assault trial earlier in 2017. Interpretations for the bathtub scene were contrasting. Some believe that it is a response to media statements teasing that she cries in a marble bathtub surrounded by pearls, with the necklace spelling "no" next to a ring, sending up tabloid media rumors of her relationships. Others speculate that the bathtub scene is a jibe at Kim Kardashian, the then wife of Swift's longtime feuding partner, Kanye West. Some viewers took the scene as a reference to Kardashian's 2016 robbery, in which she was robbed of jewelry worth over $10 million while held at gunpoint at a hotel in Paris, France. In a separate scene, Swift is shown sitting atop a golden throne, where a carving of the phrase, "Et tu, Brute," could be seen on the armrest, a reference to William Shakespeare's drama Julius Caesar. Swift's infamous title as a snake during her hiatus was also represented when a snake slithers onto the throne to serve Swift some tea. The scene where Swift's car crashes and is surrounded by paparazzi was speculated by some to be a jab at Katy Perry. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.